This is Art Gunner from New York Comic Con. I'm here with
Matt Orline with Megabots.
Megabots, yes. Well, walking into the convention center at New York Comic Con, you're bound to run into a bunch of different stuff, all these different set pieces from DC's stamp collecting thing over there. I don't know what they're doing. We got SpongeBob over there. We got A Million Ways to Die in the Old West over there. And then we have a giant robot. So, would you mind telling us a little bit about this guy?
Sure. So this is a prototype giant fighting robot. We're a company called Megabots, and we are bringing giant robot combat as like a live entertainment sport. So we're creating a new sports league of giant fighting robots. You can imagine people climbing inside this, walking around, they're shooting at each other, they're fighting, they're battling, and we just want to create an entirely new sports league that people can like come, watch, see really awesome giant robot combat.
Everyone wants to see this. I mean, there have been how many movies, even in recent years, there was that, it was a...
Pacific Rim.
No, well, yes, we had Pacific Rim, but there was also the one that was basically Rock'em Sock'em Robot. Real Steel.
Oh, Real Steel.
Real Steel. So, how long did it take to build this guy, since you said it was just a prototype?
Sure. So we've been working on this for about 4 months now. This is what we've built so far. What you see here is what we built so far. We're getting ready to finish the rest of the robot, but we're going to launch a Kickstarter in about 3 weeks and just sort of like make sure the world's ready for this. We want people to support us and say, yes, we want giant fighting robots to be a reality. We totally love it. I think everybody's going to totally love it. So with everyone's support, we can finish the rest of the robot, build more robots, and have like an entire league of fighting robots.
In regards to the league, do you guys already have an idea for how you're going to set up this league? Like how, what's the word? Like what kind of, like is it going to be like MLB only with robots? Or is it going to be something a little bit more intricate than that?
Sure, so you can imagine something like UFC crossed with NASCAR or something. So there's like a pit crew for each robot, and then there's like a pilot and a co-pilot, and these guys will have like awesome personalities and different personas and like a totally different look to their robot, so that people can sort of attach to each team and like have their favorite robot combatant and sort of like follow them along in the league as they like compete with other teams.
In regards to UFC, this isn't going to end up being like UFC where it's pretty fake. This is going to be like straight up robot battles. It's not going to be like scripted or anything, right?
Right, we're going to keep this as real as possible.
All right, that was my one main concern. As you said, you need a pilot and a co-pilot. Would you tell me a bit more about why you need two at the moment?
Sure, so controlling these robots takes a lot of work because they can twist in the middle. So generally, we found that splitting the roles between two people will make it easier to pilot the robot because one person sort of controls where it's walking, the other person's going to control where all the weapons are aiming. And so splitting those roles allow people to do that a little more gracefully without running into things, and one person just sort of worries about avoiding obstacles in other robots.
Are there plans to streamline it so that later on we will have just one person being able to pilot this, or are you planning on keeping it dual mentality like Pacific Rim?
So the first iteration will definitely be two people. Combining those roles into one person is something we're thinking about, but we actually like the mechanic of having two people that have to work together as a team to sort of overcome the opponents.
It does actually seem like it'd be more cinematic, more, well, as you said, something that people can really attach to a lot easier.
Right.
What is this guy right here?
So this is a missile launcher turret. It's sort of an adversary that we've built for this robot to fight. You can see that that weapon is about the same size as what the cannon is on the giant robot. So this is a weapon that could attach to the missing left arm and bolt on, and this robot would be able to fire that weapon also. So we're trying to make these robots as modular as possible so that the body panels can be customized, they can be damaged, they can blow off, they can be repaired. The weapon systems can be customized. You can have a missile launcher, a cannon, a Gatling gun, chain gun, machine gun, all that. We want the robots to be all sort of like slightly different and have their own sort of personalities. Maybe one of them will have like a flamethrower or something like that. But we kind of want different battle mechanics for each robot design.
All right. Also, in regards to the excessive customization and modular ability of these robots, do you have an idea in mind for like a base robot that like would be distributed amongst like the different teams, and then from there they customize on top of that, or do they just start their own robot from the ground up?
So teams would not start their robot from the ground up. We want to get all of the really hard engineering work out of the way so that the teams can focus on what sets them apart and what differentiates them from other teams. So the robot chassis would be provided or licensed in some way, and those teams would be able to take that robot chassis and then customize it, put their own custom body panels on it, select which weapons they want on it, etc.
Right. Also, you mentioned like chain guns, flamethrowers. It seems like there's a lot of liability in regards to the pilots. I'm an advocate. I want this to happen, but it still seems like something that could be an issue.
Sure. So we don't want any intentional deaths in combat here. So we're designing all the weapon systems to basically be paint-based projectiles, right? So this is like giant robot paintball. So when I talk about machine guns and flamethrowers, we're talking about like a Gatling gun with like paintballs, or like a big like paint spray hose that would be sort of like a flame effect.
A water gun almost.
We can have like some weapon systems that are a little more kinetic, but we have to make sure that we can't kill people.
I would hope so. You said a Kickstarter will be starting up when?
End of October.
All right. And if the Kickstarter is successful, which I'm pretty sure it will be, when can we expect to see these guys really starting up? You said, when are we going to see our first battle?
Right now, the timeline is about a year after the Kickstarter ends.
Right. Well, this is Megabots at New York Comic Con. I'm Mark Gunner.
And Matt Orline.
We'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Prototype of a Megabot. A Megabot is a 15-foot tall, 15,000-pound bipedal combat robot that plays the biggest game of paintball that you have ever seen. If you have seen Pacific Rim, or Avatar, or Robot Jox, or played Mech Warrior, or Titanfall, you will know what these robots are all about. We are trying to make these robots into a new sport. We're trying to fight 15-foot tall bipeds in stadiums around the country. What you see here is just the upper body. It's just a prototype. The real robot you can see in the concept art. You'll notice the real robot looks kind of nice. Looks sculpted, covered in foam armor paneling. The idea is that when one of these rounds strikes that armor paneling at 120 miles an hour, armor plates blow off. If you strike them in the same place twice, you start getting critical hits. Actuators start shutting down. Cannons start jamming. If you've ever played Mech Warrior, what happens if you shoot a limb too many times? The limbs blow off. We've spent about 2 years during R&D on the power plant, cannons, etc. to make it so that we can blow limbs off, we can play these games, that we can make mech combat come to life. Now we're going to need your help to do this. We spent $250,000 building what you see here. We are not spending more money until we know that there are people who want to see this as a sport. They want to go to stadiums. They want to fight in these robots. They want to buy swag. So we need your help to know that you want this. So first of all, I'm going to ask for some easy help. I'm going to ask for your help counting down from 5. Can you do that for me? All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Megabots.